All right. Hey, everybody. I am so proud of you for hanging in there while I'm gone. I hate teaching virtually like this. I know it's not the best way to learn, but keep pushing through. And this next week will go by pretty quick and we'll get back to normal. All right. So, what I want to do today instead of IXL is this specific content of factoring problems. I'm noticing a lot of you on the fix and learns are still messing this up. So I want to review it a little bit with you. Also, another side note thing, I have all your practice tests. I gave you a point for turning those in if they were all correct, meaning you checked everything. So if you got a 0 out of 1 on the practice test for Module 6, go back in and find which one you didn't actually check on the practice test video and fix it, resubmit it if you want to get that extra point. If you don't have your fix and learns turned in, today is, I'd like it to be the last day that you get all those in so I can get them all done over the weekend. If you did a fix and learn and still have stuff wrong, then go back, find what's wrong, and resubmit again. Okay. If you don't have a 20 out of 20, I should see you resubmitting fix and learns and figuring stuff out and asking questions. All right, let's go ahead and do this together. Get this exported to Notability. We're going to walk through some of these problems as a review. Okay, so factoring, remember, we're taking these two terms and we're finding what can we pull out, okay, so that we're left with a single unit on the inside. So we always do the parentheses first, and we're thinking, okay, out of these two things, what is in common that I can pull out? Now, if I'm not sure, remember, my favorite way to do it is these prime factor trees, because they just tell you the answer, okay? And so all you have to do is write the multiplication fact. So do this with me. We have a 7 times 8 is 56. The 7 is as low as it goes. The 8, I could do 2 and 4. 2 is as low as it goes. And then I could do 2 and 2. And that's as low as those go. Those are all prime numbers. The 3 times 7 is 21, and that's it for those, okay? So what I did was I had you highlight the pairs. So I have a pair of 7s, and that's all I have for this one, okay? So since there's no other ones, I'm not multiplying any other numbers. I'm just pulling out a 7. If I had another number, I would be multiplying the 2 to find out what is the greatest common factor I can pull out. So then I have to just go, okay, 7 times 8 is 56, and there's still the x in there. Don't forget that. And then 7 times 3 is 21. To check, I think through the distributive to make sure I'm good. Okay. All right. So I actually want you to pause and try this one. So hit pause on the video and let's just maybe set a timer for 2 minutes, and then you can hit play again and walk through and see how you did. All right. So let's go ahead and walk through this together. So I'm going to set up my parentheses because I know I need to find a greatest common factor. Let's say I'm not sure what it is. Remember, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do this factor tree here. Okay, so let's just say I do the trick of doing the 2's, pulling out the 2's. So 2 times 24, that 2 is all the way prime. And then maybe the 2 times 12, and then the 2 times 6, and the 2 times 3. I don't know why I wrote a 3. I was being a mod there. Okay, 2 times 3, and there we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing with 24. So 2 times 12, 2 times 6, and 2 times 3. And then what we're doing is we're looking for those common factors, or the pairs that we see. So there's one pair, there's another pair, there's another pair, and we have another pair, okay? So I'm going to connect those. So it's a 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And that's the greatest I can pull out. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So that's the process of finding the greatest common factor, okay? And so you multiply all those together. 2 times 4 is 8, and 3 times 8 is 24. So I actually can pull out a 24 here, okay? And what am I left with? Well, 24 times 2, keep my y, okay, plus 24 times 1 would get me the 24, and there we go, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and move on to these other ones where there's some other common things. So this is like the test where you didn't also pull out common variables as well, okay? So we have a 72 and a 4. So right away, I'm going to do my parentheses because we know we're factoring. I'm going to write my 72 and my 4. The 4 is nice and easy, right? Just 2 times 2. That's all done. And then 72, that's a something times 9, right? So 9 times 8 is 72. Okay. And then we have 3 times 3 is 9. So that's done. 2 times 4. 2 times 2. Okay. I'm going to highlight my common ones. I don't have any 3's in common, but I have a 2 and I have another 2. So all that means is I'm going to do 2 times 2, which is 4, and there's my GCF. Okay, greatest common factor is a 4. So 4 times what is 72? If I don't know, I'm going to a calculator, and I'm doing 72 divided by 4, and it says 18. So I have an 18 here, okay? And then I need to notice also, okay, I have a common x. If you have a common x, that means you can pull out the x as well. And that's the thing people were forgetting on the test, okay? Now I still have my minus. 4x times what? Well, 1. 4 times 1 is 4, okay? But I'm still left with this y, so the y comes down. So double check, 4x times 18 would be 72x. 4x times 1y would be 4xy. Okay, so that's how you do that. So go ahead and pause again, try it on this, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the next part of class. Okay, now that you've had a couple minutes, let's see how you did. Okay, so we have 54 and 18. I want to know what the GCF is, so I'm going to write my parentheses. I already see there's a common variable of y, so I'm going to pull out that y so I don't forget, okay? And let's go ahead and find the GCF coefficient here. So we have 54, so think through your multiplication facts. If you're not sure, then you should grab a calculator and try some things out, and that's fine. So we have what? 54, you can try out even just doing the double thing. Okay, so 54 divided by 2 is 27. So you could do 2 times 27. 2 is all done. Okay, 27 can't be split in half. Okay, so you have 3 times 9 is 27. 3's done. And then 3 times 3. Okay, let's do 18. That's a nice split it in half one. And then we have 3 times 3. So now highlight your common ones. There's a 2, there's a 3, and there's a 3. Connect them. So 2 times 3 times 3. That's my GCF for this one. So I'm going to write it down like this. So I have 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. So that means I can actually pull out an 18. I already pulled out my common variable of y. So what's left over inside? Well, let's go ahead and make sure we're doing it right. So 54 divided by 18 is 3. Don't forget the x is still there. So 3x plus just a 1, because 18y times 3x is 54xy. And 18y times 1 equals 18y. And there we go. So those of you who are having trouble with that on your test, now maybe you can look at this person's and go, oh, okay, I see maybe what they did wrong with their factoring and pulling out things, and they lost their x's completely and things like that. Okay. All right. Talk to you later. Love you all.